What we're doing today is we're going to make some black and blue Ned rigs. Um, kind of try and save some money for those that are paying $9, $10 for a bag of 10 plastics. What I've got is I've got a handful of molds, and I bought some Bait Plastics 242 um, Plastisol. To get started, it does cost a little bit. You need colorants, you need plastisol, you need molds, you need a few things. But I can tell you that um, once you got started, if you're just making stuff for yourself, you can save money over the course of a long period of time. So if you're going to fish for a while and you want to learn how to save some money, make some baits, stick with us. Here's what I'm doing next. We've got um, Bait Plastics 242. There's a 5-gallon bucket. I'm going to basically dip a gallon's worth or a half gallon's worth. Make us a cup. Melt some plastic. Pour it in some molds. You guys kind of stick around and see what happens. And alright, the first thing I'm doing here is I'm mixing the plastisol. I already mixed it a little bit, but ultimately it does separate. It's been sitting for a while. All we're looking for here is the same consistency through and through. I don't think you can overmix it. They do say that you can get bubbles if you do overmix it. Once it gets into the smaller jug there, I do have a battery drill with a mixer. So for now, I'm just mixing the big bucket, and then I'm going to transfer it to the little bucket. Alright guys, so I've got the measuring cup there hanging, drip drying. Got the plastic into my 1-gallon usable jug here. More usable anyway than the 5-gallon. Next thing I'm going to do is basically put we're going to clean out this cup first, and then we're going to put 1 cup of plastisol in there, and we're going to grease up our cheap Best NJ injector. Got this on Amazon, fairly inexpensive. It does do the trick. I've made quite a few baits. And then we're going to add some colors and add some flake. Let me clean this out real quick. I'll set you down for a second. Alright, and now we're going to make 1 cup of plastisol. Pours like a gallon of milk, basically. I did mix all this up, by the way, off the camera. So, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it in the microwave 2 minutes, and we're going to get a temp on that. It will take probably 3.5 minutes for that to be done, but I don't go more than 2 minutes, as I've had a few muffin tops. If you check YouTube or check any of these other bait making videos, you'll know what a muffin top is. Not pleasant, not good for you. By the way, full disclaimer, make sure you're wearing your goggles and your safety equipment, your respirator. Something you will not see me do in this video, but I would highly suggest that you do it. Do as I say, not as I do, kind of thing. But while we're doing that, I'm going to squirt a little worm oil in there, get this thing lubed up, grab my mold, and we'll be back in a second. Alright, that is the first 2 minutes. As you can see, it's still like a milky temp, or milky color. Temp on that is 269. and we're looking for 350 the first time. So we're gonna take one of our knives here, mix that up, and plop her back in. Oh, there's a big chunk of something in there. Must not have cleaned that out very good. As you can probably tell in the video. Okay, gonna plop that back in there for another minute and a half and see where we're at. Again, we're looking for 350 as the internal temp. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna take this paintbrush, some worm oil from Lure Works. We're going to lube the inside of this. And this is a Senko mold, also off Amazon. But what I'm looking to do is make some Ned rigs just for myself. So I'm going to cut these probably in half, and each shoot will be 6 Ned rigs. That was the deal the other night out on the lake. So we're gonna make some black and blue ones. Alright guys, I don't know if you can tell on this or not, but those are oiled up, a little bit slick, which will allow the plastisol to get in there a little bit better. These are stone molds. I will say that the aluminum molds do shoot better, but these seem to be fine as long as you don't drop them. You should be good to go. But yeah, let's see what we got for an internal temperature. See, that's a little bit clearer. Should be getting closer, if not at that 350. Just by looking at it, I can tell we're pretty close. Let's see. Yep, 360. So that's good. What we're going to do now is we're going to take some blue flake. This is, I think, the 0.6 size. Oh, I lied, 0.5 size from Lure Works. And then we're going to do some black. This is a little box of colorant, a sample pack, also from Lure Works. We're going to take some black, and what I've found is about 10 drops gets you started, and then you can kind of go 10 drops per 1 cup of plastisol will get you started, and then you can go from there whether you want it more opaque or less opaque. But I start with 10, see what I got, mix it up. And that is still pretty see-through. So we're probably going to put another, I don't know, 6 or 7 drops in there. It doesn't have to be perfect, guys. This is for you. Do it however you like. I do suggest if you start selling them that you either write down what you're doing once you get something you like, or keep track somehow of what you've got. That is much better. Alright, so that's what we're going to stick with. We got about 17 drops in there. And I'm going to add, like I said, a little bit of blue, probably 2/4 teaspoons. Alright, found the measuring spoon. This is a 1/4 teaspoon. And I'm going to do 2 of them. Again, you don't have to be perfect at this. I'm actually going to do 3. We're going to try and get a little bit more blue in there. Do whatever you like, however many shakes of the tail you want to give her. That looks pretty good to me. So I got 3 in there, I think. And then, yeah, that looks pretty nice. I just touched that cup. Gloves, guys. Gloves. My buddy burnt the heck out of himself the first time he did this. So we're going to put that back in for a couple seconds, probably 30 seconds, and then we're going to shoot one. Alright, as you can see, I'm adding these little clamps on here. That's the one thing these stone molds do not have, is their own clamps. I'm sure we'll do a video later with a aluminum mold that has some clamps. But that's what we want there. Then we're going to set you down for a second. Pull this out. I'm going to put one glove on. That's the bare minimum, but I would highly suggest that you wear your safety equipment once again. Goggles, respirator, gloves, the whole 9 yards. We're going to take our injector, make sure that it's shooting smooth, which it is. We're just going to pull up, I think this is 4 ounces worth of plastisol. Move that out of the way. And inject. I don't know how well you can see this. Low, slow, till you got pressure. Once you got some pressure, keep the pressure on there for a second. Sucked up what was left in the sprue there, and we're gonna pull this apart here in a second. I've given it probably, I don't know, close to a minute or so, and that's what's left on there. We're gonna put that right back in our cup and be able to reuse that. And you guys would be surprised at how many baits you're going to be able to make out of just a cup of plastisol even. Alright, so this is what we got. Very pretty black and blue. Nice and shiny. You can see there's a little bit of flashing there. We'll peel that right off. No big deal. Back in the cup. And there's our 3 Senkos right now. When I make Senkos for myself, I do add salt. I found a lot of people said grind table salt. My mother gave me a grinder. I tried that. It seemed to clump up. I didn't like it, so I just used the straight table salt. And this is not hot to the touch. It's still warm, but if you've let it sit long enough, it's not hot. And so I'm going to take a scissors and cut these down to Ned rig. And we're going to cut right at the sprue. Throw that back in the cup. So what I am thinking for a Ned rig is I'm going to cut right at the top of this egg sac, and that will give me 2 fairly equal parts. One's a little bit longer than the other, but absolutely both of those will work like a champ. I'm going to do that a couple more times, probably shoot a few more. Maybe I'll show you the finished product here at the end, and that'll be it. You guys let me know if you like this kind of video. We can absolutely make some more baits. Very quick process, as you can see. I think I did all this. It took me longer to get the plastic mixed up than it did to heat and make the very first plastic. Hold pressure. Top the sprue. Waiting on it to set up. In the meantime, we're making something else. Here's where we're at so far. If you guys want to see me hand pour some laminates and some other things, tune in next time. And for now, thank you.